in any different way. So it never ends. To end, he has to achieve more. To go to the heaven, still he has to die there and come back. In heaven, they die. If you study in your Pathshala, heaven is a good life, yes, but they have to die. It's a long life, but still have to die. If we understand Jainism is only one thing, how to detach yourself. Vitaragata. We see our Bhagavan, this mudra is called Vitraga mudra. Vitraga mudra means he's trying to stay or a position without detachment. And trust me, all of you what you have seen the movie, now it's in YouTube, in your home, you can enjoy this movie again and again. If you enjoy how to detach, you will learn from this movie. When he was dying away, you can see in his movie, his parents were not there. He said, put them into second room because I am here going alone without any emotion. That's very important. That's very, very important. So the life continues. We always cry the body because we are attached. And he was not attached. That's the called real Jainism. That's the Jainism. And trust me, I'm very, very proud that all of you have done this thing because I wanted to see how to make these children know when we have a picture, a chitrapat in Jain. Who is he? He achieved more. He was always in it. He was touching his soul. That's the beauty of it. That's the beauty. We are almost coming to 10:30. So we'll be starting. I see a lot of students here now. And I'm very, very proud. So we'll start with his, we thank him. And this is very important. Anybody who knows, please sing with her. Yeah. Side Now we can. No, please go ahead.
Aho, aho, Shri Saraswati, Karuna Sindhu Prabhu Charana Atma ki saubhi te to Prabhu apiyo varatu charanati ade hari ajati varato Prabhu adi Das das muras tu ava Prabhu mori chat sthan samajya Vinavadyo Jnana Pratikara Swarupa Samajapina Pamyo Dukara Samajapina परम ज्ञान सुखदा ये आप्युमाननि ते सदा देवचता जेहि दशा वरते देहानि ते ज्ञानी नाचरण ओ वंदनागणि हे परम गुरुदेव जन्म जन्म मरणानी सर्व दुःखानो अत्यंत क्षय करणारो एवो विद्या पुरुषनो मूळ धन मूळ मार आप श्रीमदे अनंत कृपा करी મને આપ્યો એ અનંત ઉપકારનો પ્રતિ ઉપકાર વાળવા હું સર્વથા અસમર્થ છું વળી આપ શ્રીમદ સર્વથા વળી આપ શ્રીમદ એક લેવાને સર્વથા નિષ્ફળ છો તેથી હું મન વચન કાયની એકાગ્રતાથી આપના ચરણારવિંદમાં નમસ્કાર કરું છું આપની પરમ ભક્તિ અને વિદ્રાટ પુરુષના મૂળ ધનની ઉપાસના મારા હૃદયને વિશે ભાવ કરત અખંડ જાગૃત રહો એટલું હું માંગુ છું તે સફળ થાઓ સફળ થાઓ ઓમ શાંતિ શાંતિ
We are very honored today to have the young children and their parents to celebrate Srimad Rajchandra's birthday. And I'm very, very proud of the parents who sit down with their children and show the movie. He was a great saint. He was the last disciple of Bhagavan Mahavir, and he saw everything that is for now. He's 900 lives. And then what he achieved is nothing but detachment. He passed away and he achieved Paramatma. So I'm very, very happy that everybody is here. And we'll start from the, I have got almost now 12 students, 12 classes students. And there are a few more who are joining. So I like to invite, first is Sanya and Diana, please. You can put your paper here. Yeah, please go.
Srimad Rajchandraji is known for his wisdom, devotion, and detachment towards life and faith. He is marked by enlightenment and intense spirituality that was consistent throughout his life. Originally named as Lakshminarayan to his parents Vidma and Bhavji Bhayamanta, he was born on November 9, 1867, the auspicious night of Kartik Puja. Srimad was born in a village named Valanya in Gujarat. As expressed in the biopic, Srimad was a very curious child, always asking questions that were also insightful. The young boy was also very mature for his age and had an understanding of concepts that went beyond his age. His mother, Vidma, introduced Jainism to him at an early age, and he quickly gained interest, even going to the Lord Krishna temple with his grandfather to learn more. Srimad Rajchandra was known for his remarkable memory and recollection. He was able to recollect memories of past lives and attain Jatsman at the age of 7 to teach the pureness of his soul. When Vidma asked Srimad to help her on the kitchen, she noticed that he would fry and cut the vegetables. This was due to his feelings of sadness, since he felt that he was hurting a living organism. Thus, he gained his compassion towards life. At the age of 7, he was entering school, had already memorized the alphabet and knew how to read, bringing the teacher to be amazed by his intellect. Srimad completed 7 years of education in the span of 2 years and was gifted with the power of words through his poetry and speeches. At the age of 9, Srimad composed Ramayana and Mahabharata in poetry form and began writing newspaper articles at the age of 11, which earned him various awards and recognition. As he grew older, he became known for his poems and writings, and many called him Kavi. Srimad remained as insightful and religious throughout his teenage years and as a young adult. In fact, at the age of 19, he was able to perform shatabdans which means doing multiple tasks at the same time. Srimad also visited the Upashray to talk with Srimadji about his early stanzas and Mochma. These Srimadjis gained a deep respect for Srimad as a result of his beautiful explanations. In 1887, at the age of 20, Srimad married Zilabhai, daughter of Gopalbal and Morbi. When he turned to 21, Srimad became an established businessman, venturing into the jewelry business in Mumbai. He left a lasting impression on his customers and was known to value the individual rather than the sale. In other words, Srimad was a very honest man and did not wish to impose stress on anyone. Marked by intense desire for renunciation, Srimad wanted to cut all worldly ties and a sense of attachment with those surrounding him, but his parents did not allow for him to pursue an ascetic lifestyle. In 1890, at the age of 23, Srimad attained self-realization called Shum Samyak Darsha, where he awaited the gateway to liberation. Later in life, Srimad spent time in seclusion and wilderness of Gujarat such as the hills of Peter. There he proceeded to spiritual advancements and meditated for several hours at a time, while observing the content of a monk. In one example, Srimad takes his brother-in-law, the Garshi Bai and son-in-law, to the mountains of Peter, where he warns them that they will be approached by a tiger in which they must sit still, and not leave the protective circle if they want to live. To their surprise, a tiger did appear hours later and dared not to move off where they were sitting on, while Srimad meditated in the cave. On Ansel and come on 1896 in Nadia, Srimad composed 142 verses of Sri Atma Siddhi Shastra, one of his most important works that serves as the essence of all scriptures. Srimadji was ready to take Diksha, but was shaken by a severe illness which prevented him to achieve Diksha. As he grew weaker, his compassion grew stronger and continued to study scriptures. This can be depicted by Srimadji's concentration on meditating despite the mosquitoes biting. His concentration was so intense that the repeated mosquito bites made no difference to him. During Srimad's last day, in which he knew he was about to meet his death, he went into Mahasamadhi, which lasted 5 hours. During this time, Srimad stayed in the same night position from 7:45 in the morning till 2 in the afternoon, and did not make any movement. Srimad died at the age of 33 on Chaitra Road on April 19, 1901, leaving a lasting impact on the world and becoming an icon of Jainism. Thank you.
Is there a look by Venkatesh?
No, it's from 4 people. British Shine family, Mayan Shine family, Baniyal and family, and Girish Multani.
Very nice. You're very good.
Thank you. Thank you. One important thing is these 2 girls and Dipti's children, Vilasa's children, and Pia, they had been doing this thing from last 5 years. But they were doing it in a small scale. Now we are doing it on a much bigger scale, looking at the movie and showing what they're writing down their emotions. Now we have Pavitra Soni. Pavitra Soni. Sit here.
Shweta is here.
Srimad Ramachandra was a very wise noble man. He was born on November 9, 1867 in Ravania, India. He passed away on April 9, 1901 in Rajkot, India. In his childhood, he was a very intelligent person who was ahead of his peers. At the age of 7, he joined school as a prize to teachers and classmates by fluently reading and speaking Gujarati. He spent his entire life being compassionate and helping others solve their problems. He studied the beliefs and philosophies of many other religions. He had a very deep knowledge and understanding of poetry. He was able to multitask very well and once performed 50 different activities efficiently and simultaneously. His words of advice are very inspiring and impactful on many different people from many different backgrounds. Srimad Ramachandra was a Jain activist, poet, mystic, philosopher, and scholar. Srimad Ramachandra was a very influential person. His compassion was able to solve everyone's problems. In one instance, an Arab merchant came to Srimad Ramachandra in the hopes of selling him pearls. Srimad bought them from him for a very good price. The Arab merchant's older brother told him that he sold them lower for the minimum selling price. The Arab merchant then went back to Srimad Ramachandra and explained his bad position. Srimad Ramachandra understood the position and happily returned the pearls to him and took back his money. This is very compassionate. He helped everyone in a bad position, regardless of if they sacrificed his profits. He was a very selfless man. He has done such acts of kindness many times. He doesn't just help people though, he also helped animals. In another instance, he heard about in a north where they were sacrificing over 100 bulls. When he heard about this, he tried his best to stop this. He went through that religion's books and found that it was just a misunderstanding. And thus he changed his problem and made sure that the sacrificing of bulls was stopped. Finally, the merchant was making a deal with Srimad Ramachandra in hopes of selling his diamonds to him for a set price. Srimad Ramachandra agreed to the deal, so they both signed the agreement. However, a few days before the trade took place, the merchant discovered that the market price for diamonds had increased tremendously, and if he sold them to Srimad Ramachandra at that price they agreed to, they would have gone into severe debt and would have had to sell his house. When Ramachandra came to know this, he became very worried and felt bad for the merchant. As a result, he went to the merchant's office and told the merchant that the deal is causing them one problem, since he couldn't bear to see anyone else sad. And they canceled the trade. Srimad Ramachandra was also revered as Mahatma Gandhi's spiritual mentor, had a profound and defining impact on the thought of the nation. Gandhiji's thoughts and beliefs were shaped by him. He was a crucial part of Mahatma's creation, which Gandhiji used to win India's independence and inspire future generations. Their contributions are still providing fresh perspectives on the world peace and human advancement. Srimad Ramachandra was a very capable man. He was capable of multitasking at an insane concentration. He's able to fluently read and speak almost 200 languages. He produced a large body of poetic works, notably Atma Siddhi. He also translated certain holy works and wrote a lot of letters and commentary. His teachings on Jainism and spiritual counseling of Mahatma Gandhi are what made him the most famous. His words of advice were very influential, and he had a very deep knowledge of poetry and was able to rewrite many famous books, such as Ramayana and Mahabharata in the form of poetry. Srimad Ramachandra has taught me many life lessons. These lessons include being compassionate and not greedy to all living things. He showed us not to take advantage of others no matter how weak they are. He showed us that if we see a problem, we must change it and find the solution. He also showed me that humans are more capable than we can imagine. He was able to finish writing a book in 3 days. Finally, he showed me that I can accomplish anything that I put my mind to. In the movie, he said that the only reason he was able to perform 50 tasks simultaneously was because he was deeply focused on them. In conclusion, Srimad Ramachandra was a very influential man who taught us many life lessons.
Thank you. I would like to mention one thing. In Satadan, he showed 100 activities. In that Satadan, people are saying 5 foreign languages: German, Latin, French, and he answered them in the same language. So, which is very, very important. And thank you, Pavitra. It was nice thing. Now we have Parva Soni. See how much they can write watching the movie at this age. No, that's it. Yeah.
Srimad Ramachandra was born on November 9, 1867 on the auspicious full moon Kartik Purnam. Birthday was Lakshminandam and his parents were Devamada and Sri Rai. His father used to take him to the Krishna temple and his mother taught him the Jain culture. Upon learning of his neighbor's death, he was deeply hurt because the man was lit on fire because of this event, he went into a deep spiritual meditation, attaining or the knowledge of 7 previous lives at the age of 7. At the age of 8, he began writing poems, 5,000 stanzas in the first year. At the age of 9, he composed Ramayana and Mahabharata in poetry form. At the age of 10, he started to present stupendous speeches. He had such neat handwriting that he would be invited by the king to write documents. His mom recalled an incident where Srimadji was chopping vegetables and began to cry. Once his mother asked him what was wrong, he never replied, but in the movie it said that he was sad because he had to chop up the living vegetables. Srimadji Rajchandra performed 100 of these at one point of his lifetime. He was a superhuman. He could predict the future, read people's minds, and he could focus and do 100 other things at the same time. He had a very compassionate personality and was a fair person, which we can tell from a story about Bersheba. Upon hearing from his uncle's conversation about the plot to kill Bersheba, he went immediately and forewarned Bersheba about his uncle's intention. That way, Bersheba became a big family. He was efficient to perform tasks of people efficiently. He had exceptional and superlative intelligence. Another great quality about him was he never asked for any help unless it was for spiritual reasons. Honesty was another great quality he possessed. He would never overcharge or underweigh groceries for any more profit at his father's store. Learned scholars would visit him and pay respect to him because he cleared people's doubts. By 15, Srimadji had studied a variety of texts in Jainism, Buddhism, Vedanta, Sankhya, Yoga, and Charva. He was most impressed by Jainism. He wrote Moksha Mala, comprising of 108 chapters in just 3 days, where the principles of Jainism are explained in simple and easy language, which is still today. At the age of 19, he performed Shadavadam, that is 100 of dance in Mumbai in front of thousands of people. Everyone was memorized with his mnemonic knowledge. Honored as a spiritual guide in Mahatma Gandhi, Srimadji Rajchandra had a tremendous and formidable influence on the father of the nation. As quoted by Mahatma Gandhi, such was the man who captivated my heart in religious matters as no other man has till now. Honored as a spiritual guide of Mahatma Gandhi, he played a pivotal role in the making of Mahatma Gandhi, on the basis of which Gandhiji achieved India's independence and inspired generations. Their legacy continues to offer new direction to global peace and human progress. Srimadji Rajchandra led a good life, touching and inviting millions of souls. During his late years, because of his love for teachings and longing for spiritual revival, he continued to spread the message to monks and householders despite his ill health. He would work so hard despite being weak due to illness, speak glowing for his compassion. Even though he was so weak and could not save himself up, he was totally alert and aware.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Very. Thank you.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Talk you. Nice.
Very, very important, these children, because they are the future of our center. And they are doing a hard work and writing something which an adult didn't try, but they tried watching the movie. So I'm very, very proud of them, their parents, and also I like to thank Superman for motivating all the Pathsara teachers, Pathsara students. Thank you. Now I like to speak to Triana Soni. Thank you. Tina, sorry.
Jayanti, everyone. Srimadji has one of the most inspiring stories in our history. Although he passed away at the young age of 33, he managed to achieve goals that most people cannot fulfill in an entire lifetime. He had a very impressive childhood as he was incredibly talented, started at a very young age. As he grew up, he was known by all for his giving and compassionate persona and for several talents he possessed, which helped gain respect from all those who knew him. To begin, Srimadji was seen as an exceptional child starting at a young age. He was born at the name of Janam in the Romanian village of Saurashtra and brought up in the two cultures of Hinduism from his grandfather and Jainism from his mother. At the age of 7, he achieved the power Japanese spelling exam, which is when one recollects the memories from their past lives. His detachment increased multiple during this event. At the age of 8, he started writing poems and wrote around 5,000 stanzas in just 1 year. Then at the age of 9, he formulated the Mahabharata in the Mayan poetry form. At age 10, he was able to give incredibly spellbinding speeches and had such beautiful handwriting, he was being invited often by the King of Kutch to write the century's offerings. He had started contributing to leading articles like Vigyan Vilas, Rupi Prakash, and Bhumi Prakash. By the age of 11, he left his studies. It was at age 12 when he wrote an extremely meaningful poem of one day, and when he established his pen name to be Janam, which eventually became his known name, Srimadji. To continue, Srimadji was also known by many for his kind and thoughtful heart. On one instance, his mother had asked him to peel some vegetables, and Srimadji started crying. This was because he felt compassion for every life form, which included vegetables, and this was a true mark of his enlightened mind, as only being enlightened could feel the pain of suffering of all parts. Additionally, Srimadji had continued the business his father had conducted, in which he showed great acts of kindness to others. One example was when a trader came to him to sell some pearls. Srimadji had warned him that one of the owner had asked for the pearls back from him, as the pearls had been put into a mortgage to the trader. The trader nonetheless sold the pearls, but Srimadji didn't ship the pearls out, knowing that the trader might come back for them. The very next day, the trader came back desperately, asking for the pearls back. And Srimadji gave them back out of the kindness of his heart, forfeiting a large profit. Another example was when Srimadji met an Arab merchant who was selling pearls. Srimadji bought them at a reasonable rate, and when the merchant went back to his brother to tell about the transaction, the brother told him how he had sold the pearls at an incredibly low rate. The merchant went back immediately to Srimadji, asked for the pearls back, and to the merchant's surprise, he gave them back graciously. The Arab merchant felt so grateful, he treated him with a feeling of honor, respect, they deserved from him. Moreover, as Srimadji grew up, he discovered many new talents that astonished many people, but eventually gave him up in the path of spirituality. For example, he had performed 52 Avgan in front of his friend Sri Hariraj Shivlal. This involves him playing chess with 3 friends, playing chess with another, counting the number of times the ball was striking, performing addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division, counting the rosary beads, solving 8 puzzles, teaching a student, composing ornamental phrases, producing 16 poems under my subject speech, and arranging 400 words in Greek, English, Sanskrit, Urdu, Arabic, Latin, and more. He performed all of these tasks simultaneously, and he would do each task one after the other until each was finished. After this, at the age of 19, he performed Shantadham, which was under a black Street Institute in Mumbai, under the chairmanship of Dr. Pearson. This event was widely covered by multiple leading newspapers, including Times of India, The Spectator, and many more. However, after a year of this, he gave up performing as man, as he believed that it was an obstruction in his path of spiritual pursuit. When the widely known talent was astrology, Srimadji had obtained mastery over the concept rather quickly, and he states himself, the future zone by simply reading the clock in space. Because of this, many friends or relatives in England would often come up to him to have their future read out by him. However, one day, he was asked about the future of the bedridden child. He was able to say that the child would not be able to survive. He came to the conclusion that he would not be able to deliver such news. So after this occurrence, he gave up astrology, seeing it as an interest in his spiritual path. To conclude, Srimadji was an awe-inspiring influence on several people. He had such an impact on our religion and other people. We still remember him to this day every more than we do. He taught us to always be kind to others no matter what. Detach yourself from whatever you desire and to live a good self-respect. He taught us to reach our full potential because we are more capable than we give ourselves credit for. He had always been an increasingly talented individual, whether it was when he was a child or when he was older. He always kept his compassion and humbleness close to him and was an influence on all those around him. He sadly passed away at a young age, but left behind his inspirational principles and has become an influence to all Jayanti.
Some of the children have seen the movie 3 times to write it. So which is excellent. Now I like to speak to Anshi Shah. Wow. Anshi's grandfather, am I right? Nana.
Yes.
Yes.
No, mine.
Your Nana. He was the follower of Srimadji. And look at him today. She has a chance to speak about Srimadji. Please take the microphone and speak.
Srimadji was born on November 9, 1867. He was very well influenced by two religions, Judaism and Hinduism. When Srimad was 7, he went to school. He was wise beyond his years. His teacher was mesmerized by his intelligence. One day, his neighbor died because of a snake bite, and the young Srimad was curious what the meaning of death was. So he asked his grandfather what it meant. His grandfather said, now, that his neighbor couldn't eat, drink, walk, or talk. Soon after, he started writing poems. He composed the Mahabharata and Ramayana and poetry. When he grew older, he started reading Bhagavad Gita and other religious scriptures. He started to show an interest in Jainism and increased with his time. He was once cutting vegetables and started crying because Srimad had compassion for even vegetables. Srimad was going to go visit his maternal uncles in Nagpur. Once he got there, he had lunch and heard his uncle talking about a plan to kill Srimadji, whom Srimad had traveled with. With cautiousness, Srimad went to Srimadji's house to warn him. When it was towards the time to leave to go to the Bible again, his uncles gave him a box of sweets for his journey. Srimad had not eaten these sweets, but sold them for money for his train ticket back to the Bible. Even having a close relationship with Hashibad, he didn't ask for any money from him. After school, Srimad would help out at his father's grocery shop. He didn't overcharge people and he didn't put less on the scale and give the wrong amount. Srimad overheard a monk talking about not understanding Gavyan Ananda. Srimad took this opportunity and wrote a small explanation. By the time he had finished reading scriptures of different languages, Jainism left the biggest imprint on his young mind. When he was 16, he wrote Mokshnama containing 108 chapters in just 3 days. One day in the line, after Srimadji asked for a meeting, Srimad to understand Soon Sutra, and he did this beautifully. When he was 16, he preferred avtaras. He did 12, 16, and 52 avtaras. At the age of 19, he performed 100 avtaras. When performing shatavtaras, he met several people. At the age of 20, he married Zabata Tishki. When Srimad got married, Deva Shankar got close to Srimad after he became his uncle-in-law. Srimad said that he might settle in Mumbai and start a business in diamonds and gems. Srimad had a business partner who stayed with him until the end of the company. Their business had success and soon included trades with other countries. He also helped people understand that you must make the right decision and forgive if you did wrong. Gandhiji also tested Srimad's intelligence by reciting 200 words from different languages, and amazingly, Srimad repeated all 200 words in the same order. Srimad heard upsetting news while reading the news about slaughtering 108 buffaloes. He worked very hard by giving speeches, and finally his work paid off. The buffaloes weren't going to be slaughtered. When Srimad took his brother-in-law and his brother-in-law's son to the mountains in Eden, he was going to meditate in the mountains, and instead of time he was going to pass by to drink water and to just stay in the circle on the slab of rock. When Srimad came back, all of he had said came true, and the tiger didn't disturb anyone. He had taught various people life lessons, and it had changed their lives. Srimad kept giving advice to all the people, and his mother soon fell ill, and Srimad had nursed her back to health. When she was better, Srimad asked to become a monk and meditate in the jungle. Srimad's mother was at tears when he said this, and never mentioned it again, because he couldn't bear to see his mother unhappy. He didn't do it. Since Srimad wasn't able to become a monk, he became an ascetic and led the life of an ascetic. Only Sri Motila was able to take care of him. At night, Motila set up the bed on the hammock, but Srimad insisted on taking it down. But Motila didn't. When he went back to check on Srimad, the bed was on the ground and many mosquitoes were biting him. But he didn't seem to mind. And this happened again when Motila put the Motikon on Srimad. When he came back to check a second time, Srimad was meditating and the Motikon was off. So Motila put it on again. And then near his demise, his brother, Deva Shakratai, visited Srimad. Srimad said to Deva Shakratai, be vigilant and strive hard for your spiritual pursuits. From 7:45 to about 2 in the afternoon, it was then movement. The whole soul had departed from Srimad's body.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Do you know she brought 5 different events from the movie in it?
Yes.
5, especially one the Ganga Day slok, which even Darshibhai didn't know. At the age of 12, he wrote it down all the commentary on the slok. Thank you. Very nicely done. Thank you. Now I have Auntie Shah. Wow. Huh? Oh, Ayan. Oh, sorry, Ayan Shah. Thank you.
Srimad the last disciple of Guru Mahavir was born in a small village called Virginia in Saraswati. Srimad Rajana was the son of Rajiva Yudeva. He was born on Kartik Purnima Sunday night in November 1867. Srimad grandfather Srimadji was the devotee of Lord Krishna, and he used to take him to the temple. And Srimadji's mother was Jain, and she used to teach him Jainism. He was a very bright student. The teacher was amazed by Srimadji's intelligence. At the age of 7, he attended Janti which is knowledge of many previous lives. This extraordinary event happened because of the purity of his soul. Soon after Srimad started writing poems in the first year only, he wrote 500 stanzas. When writing his poems, he referred to himself Raja Chandra. At the age of 9, he composed Mahabharata and Ramayana and poetry. When Srimad was older, he started doing small writing and speaking. His interest in Jainism grew. Srimad's mother once asked him to cut vegetables. When doing this, he started to fly only as the and writing concealed the suffering of his vegetable. Like great men, his principle was not to ask for help unless it was for a spiritual reason. By age 15, he was extensively studied in wide variety of subjects like Jain, Buddhism, Vedanta, Sankhya, Yoga, and Jaiva. In 1884, at age 15, he wrote Moksha, comprising of 108 chapters in 3 days. At age 16, he performed his first Abhyang in Mumbai, attending 8 activities at the same time. Delivering Jamnagar, Kota, and other places, he performed 12, 16, and 52 Abhyangs, and he was awarded Title of Great Indian Hero. At age 19, he performed Siddha that is 100 of that. He reached title of Shastra Siddhi. According to Srimad Jain's intelligence, he is known as the judge. Srimad showed exceptionally high standards of integrity and compassion, even in business. Soon after, Srimad's mother fell ill and Srimad helped her very much. Once his mother was healed, he asked if he go to the jungle and become a monk. Since Srimad's mother was said no to become a monk, so he became an ascetic. On Tuesday night, April 1901, he went to Mahasamadhi.
Well done. A good try. How old are you? 7. Very good. Now we have Kabir. Thank you.
About 2,500 years ago, when Lord Mahavir was close to achieving Nirvana, Bhasma Grata was imminent. Chakrendra therefore had requested Lord Mahavir to extend his life by 48 minutes. Lord Mahavir replied, "This is not something I can change or even command to change. It is unheard of in the past and inconceivable in the future." Thus, Kali Yuga commenced, where darkness overpowers true spirituality. This is the story of Srimad Ramchandra, the last disciple of Lord Mahavir. We go to the fortuitous family of Sri Pancham Bhai Mehta. His son, Sri Ramji Bhai, was married to a Jain, Devma. They were very generous couple. An old businessman used to come to their house, and when they healed him, the old man had blessed them, made a may the gods bless you, may the Almighty God bless you with an illustrious son. The blessing turned true, and Lakshminandan, later known as Srimad Radhachandra, was born to Deva on Sunday, November 9, 1867. Srimad was exposed to two main things. His grandfather had introduced him to Lord Krishna, and his mother, Devna, had introduced him to Jainism. Because of this, he was wise beyond his years and very intelligent. After his neighbor's death, Srimad had many thoughts in his mind, like the meaning of death, and so like why. Because of this, he attained Jati's Marangyam, or knowledge about many past lives, at the age of 7. He had a very pure soul as well. Srimad had grown an interest in poetry and speeches, and was often invited by the king of Kutch to write confidential documents. He left his studies at age 11. Through other people in Bhavanya, his birthplace, Srimad began to develop an interest in Jainism, which only grew with time. When asked to cut vegetables, which were not like this, Srimad had tears because his heart was full of compassion for every life form, including vegetables. Once, Srimad traveled to Rajkot with Sri Darshi Bhai to visit his uncles. When he heard about their plan to kill Darshi Bhai, Srimad alerted him of this. And Darshi Bhai was surprised at how alert the boy was and considered himself lucky to have him as an acquaintance. When Srimad left, Darshi Bhai had respect for him, which only got greater. Srimad was able to explain anything with very deep clarity, and so that everyone could understand. So when he helped Darshi Bhai with a monk, Darshi Bhai treated Srimad as his guru from then on. When Srimad was 16, he performed his first avtana, which is 8 activities simultaneously. He was later given the title of Great Indian Hero. However, once Srimad was 20, he gave up on avtanas, thinking of them as an obstruction in his spiritual person. The same happened with astrology, which he had picked up in a very short time. He believed there was imaginary science and was a hindrance to his pursuit. When asked about what it means to be a Jain, Srimad responded, "A Jain's integrity should be no lower than that of a judge's. These are the highest expectations of all," and that's how Srimad goes back. He had made a successful business and helped others whenever he could, like traders and merchants, which you have heard from other people. Right? Even Gandhiji respected him. Srimad would help anyone, including the stopping of buffalo slaughter and calling his relatives friends whenever they told him. There was nothing to worry about. He had meditated a lot as well. Now, Srimad Radhachandra had 4 key disciples: Sri Jutabai, Ambalalbai, Sri Sobhabai, and Sri Lakhuraj Swami. We'll start with Sri Jutabai. Sri Jutabai was greatly influenced by Srimad's intellect. His respect for Srimad grew as did their interactions through letters. He passed away at the young age of 23, and Srimad personally wrote a letter about who he truly was. Sri Ambalalbai heard of Srimad from Sri Jutabai, where he became a big devotee. He was entrusted to write letters where he would record speeches Srimad would give out because of his beautiful handwriting. Sri Ambalalbai attained Samyak Darshan at the age of 37. Sri Sobhabai had a Vijyan mantra he was passed down to that he was to give to a spiritually deserving person, namely Srimad. However, Srimad already had a copy of this, and Sobhabai gave Srimad his utmost respect, despite being 44 years older than him. In his last few days, Sobhabai was told by Srimad to strive for the ultimate goal. And so Sri Sobhabai attained Samadhi death at the 74 years old. Sri Lakhuraj Swami was entrusted of propagating the spiritual legacy of Srimad Radhachandra. At 30, he became a Jain monk, and at 44, he attained pure self-realization due to the divinity of his Guruji, which was Srimad. He founded the Srimad Radhachandra Ashramat Agas, a site for all spiritual aspirants. There itself, Sri Lakhuraj Swami attained Samadhi death at age 82. This is the story of Lord Mahavir's last disciple, Srimad, and his achievements, legacy, and disciples.
Thank you. Do you know he brought the best 3 different events? First event was the Bhagwan Mahavir was told by Indra to increase the lifespan. which was the best thing. He said, I cannot do it. And then he brought Sobhak Bhai and Ambalar Bhai and everybody. Judha Bhai is Srimadji. You should listen to very carefully. Is Srimadji's wife in previous life. Judha Bhai was his wife when he was a king in Nepal. And this time they met as a man in a different form, but he achieved something successful in life. Now I have Atman Shah. Some of the things this kid what are writing is amazing. Very well done. The research is excellent.
Janam. The Srimad Rajchandra biopic was a very engaging and interesting biopic. I learned a lot of things I did not know about Srimad Rajchandra beforehand. I found out about his intelligence from such a young age and the ability he had to just teach a class from just his first day of school. I found it very interesting that he went to a Hindu temple because of his grandfather who was Hindu and also practiced Jain customs because of his mother. He also read about all the other religions and sort of found it interesting to know more about them. It is very impressive that he was able to gain a recollection of all of his past lives at the age of 7 because of the compassion he felt towards a friend of his that died due to a snake bite. He saw him being cremated and felt extremely sad that someone would have to be burned. He recollected all these past lives from that event. To be able to recollect all of these lives at the age of 7 shows the amount of compassion he must have felt, and it is inspiring for me because it shows the kind of person who inspired him. When he was younger, he rewrote many famous books on Indian literature. He wrote verses for Ramayana and Mahabharata. He also liked to compose poems in his free time. Srimad Rajchandra was married in his early 20s and was put into the pearls and diamonds business by his in-laws. He moved to Mumbai and worked at the store. At the diamonds and pearl store, he kept his integrity and honesty for every customer. He said that the integrity must be higher than that of a judge at the Supreme Court, and no one should be able to question the integrity and honesty of a Jain. If one was to question the integrity of a Jain, other people should not even be able to believe that statement. Srimad Rajchandra always had chances to make more money, but he always stayed honest and kept his integrity. He returns people's money and belongings and never cheated anyone. He bought items at a market price or only kept a slight profit. The lesson on integrity truly showed me what it is to be a Jain. You will have multiple opportunities to cheat people or make more money for yourself, but it is always better to stick to your principles and stick to what you know and your values. Srimad Rajchandra became close to Mahatma Gandhi during Gandhi's time in South Africa while he was practicing law. Gandhi learned a lot from Srimad Rajchandra and was able to learn more about Jainism and about rights and wrongs. They constantly exchanged letters, and Srimad Rajchandra was a mentor to Mahatma Gandhi. This interaction between Mahatma Gandhi and Srimad Rajchandra other figures in the Jain community, such as monks, also respected Srimad. They always bowed down to him and even let him sit on something comfortable, despite the monks being much older than Srimad. They always wanted to show a level of respect towards him. This showed me the amount of knowledge Srimad Rajchandra must have had and respect he must have earned in order for someone like the Jain monks to do something like that. Other people that respected Srimad would do anything for him. They would prepare food for him, give him something to sleep on, and even hold a lamp for hours while Srimad completed Atma. The amount of respect he had from others and the regard people had for him was very high. Srimad Rajchandra was a very special human being. He always showed and commanded the highest level of respect towards people, animals, and even non-living things. He also was extremely compassionate and nice. He was a learned being and was someone that I strive to be every day. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Anand.
JCSF. Srimad Rajchandra, also known as Paramabhaitan, was a very intelligent person. Srimad Rajchandra was born on November 9, 1867 in Bhavani, a village near Morbi. I learned from the very beginning on his first day of school, he was a very intelligent person. When the teacher was teaching, he already knew everything, as was explaining the material to the whole class. When Srimad Rajchandra was 7, he attained Jati Smarana, recollection of previous lives. This happened when Abhijan Bhai, an adult and friend of Srimad in his village, passed away from a snake bite. That is when Srimad asked his grandfather what death means. His grandfather told him to die means the separation of the soul from the body. Now they would take his ashes to a riverbank as his body can't work anymore. Still curious, Srimad Rajchandra went to the riverbank and saw them burn his body. At this moment, he had just seen in his head all of the lives he had gone through before he became Srimad. This influenced him for a religious life. One time, Srimad was asked by his mom to cut some pinda, and Srimad started tearing up. She asked why, but he didn't respond and continued crying because he didn't want to hurt the little jeep inside the pinda. This really impacts me because it shows to me that we need to care about anyone, even if it is a giant or an ant or even a vegetable. When Srimad Rajchandra was 8, he started writing poems and composed verse synonyms of Ramayana and Mahabharata at 9. At 11 years old, Srimad Rajchandra was already getting awards for essay writing competitions. Srimad Rajchandra once performed 52 avadhan in public. An avadhan is a difficult test of attention and recollection in which a person attends multiple objects and activities at a time. Some of these avadhan include playing cards with 3 players, playing chess, keeping count of a small gong, mentally solving addition, multiplication, division, and subtraction problems, keeping count of the movement of beads on a thread, solving 8 new problems, and rearranging 400 words of various languages spoken in random order, and even teaching a student. He also reached Shat Avadhan, which is 100 Avadhan in 1887. I simply can't believe it. It's even hard to think and talk with someone, yet alone all the crazy stuff Srimad Rajchandra did at the same time. One time when Srimad Rajchandra went to meditate, he brought his family. He told them to sit on a rock and said, a lion is going to come near the river to get some water. Don't be afraid and just continue sitting on the rock. Saying this, Srimad Rajchandra went into the cave to meditate. Soon enough, the lion did come and started to drink the water. His family trusted him. Sure enough, the lion did go away. This really surprised me because not only did Srimad know what was going to happen, he was so intelligent that people had a different kind of trust for him. During his final years, Srimad Rajchandra suffered a chronic digestive disorder. When he was about to die, he wanted to be in Rajkot. As he was in his final moments, he told his family to not be worried. He said that the soul would be eternal and it would only be his body that would be separated from him. He kept on telling his family to stay calm, and slowly his atma left from the body. Even now, people still watch his inspiring movies, read his poems, and even admire him. He is surely going to reach moksha and will always be remembered. I've always wanted to be like him, and his story is the reason I love Bhakti. Once again, Srimad Rajchandra, a regular person to himself, but a guru to us.
Thank you. Thank you. One thing I like to make very important thing. Normally we say he died, soul never died. The death is to the body, not to the soul. So try to improve your language. The body passed away, the soul never dies. It is eternal. And when he achieves moksha, he goes to Sid Bhagwan. So the body dies, soul never dies. But soul has a limit to live in that body, and that's called Aisha. Now we have a hero. Thank you, hero. So many people are, taking part with watching the movie 3 times. and they are writing this essay with amazing. Yes, yes.
JCSF everyone. Srimadji was born on Friday, November 9, 1867, on Kartik Purnima. That day was Dev Diwali. He was born in the Rania village of Silvastra. His father's name is Rabji Mehta and his mother's name is Srimadji Devna. His parents are most humble and devoted parents. Srimadji was a very curious child whose questions were overwhelming sometimes and at times eye-opening. When he was 7 years old, he attended the power of Jyotismaran of memories of several past years and lives. He was able to write around 5,000 stanzas of poetry in the first year itself at the age of 8 years. When he was 19 years old, he performed 100 tasks at the same time for a respected audience of thousands at a public function organized at Premji Kawasaki Institute in Mumbai. It had already become a promising orator at the age of 10 years, giving spellbinding speeches. At the age of 21 years, his business made him extremely successful in the trading of pearls and diamonds. Srimadji was a knowledge bearer and unclouded.
You can go for next line.
Giver, he led a simple life enriched with plenty of fables about kindness to share. The legendary leader of India is Mahatma Gandhi, who was inspired by Srimadji. The principle of non-violence with which Gandhiji won India's freedom came from Srimadji. If we take inspiration from either one of his life stories, it will be a turning point of our lives with wonderfully uncluttered thoughts and unfitting perspective towards life. His understanding and maturity were beyond his age. He was special and blessed with extraordinary powers that earned him the title Srimadji.
You have to understand, we have to keep patience. This is the first time that so many children are taking the advantage. It was their open invitation, and anybody who would like to write, please come and prepare it. Then we have an overwhelming response. So please keep some patience to finish this program. Now I have the, and her name is Anjali, and tell you she wants to become a lawyer, and she never tried or faced the audience. And today I motivated her, don't worry, you're going to become a good lawyer, face the audience. Come on. Anjali, I'm very proud of her.
Okay. About 2,500 years ago, when Lord Mountaineer was in Western Temple was extremely close to Nirvana. Since Bhasma Graha was in Chakrandra, therefore requested Lord Mountaineer to extend his life despite by 5 minutes. By doing this, he was making the misery less severe for people who were born in Western Graha. Lord Mountaineer said this was something beyond his power. This paper is about Lord Mountaineer's last disciple. Lord Mountaineer's last disciple was born in small village in India. He was born in the wealthiest family of Sri Panjan Bhai Mehta. Sri Panjan Bhai was a okay, and his son was married to him. His son was Sri and his wife Deva donated to the boy. Deva took him to care of him. One time, Sri Panjan Bhai fell sick, and before he got better, he blessed Deva to have an amazing son. On Kartik Purnam, November 1867, Srimad attended one grade sister. Srimad was the head of his class and everything, but one Srimad was determined to know the meaning of death, and so he snuck out where his neighbor was getting prayer. Srimad was so sad that he obtained the knowledge of the left his past. After this, he took on poetry as a pastime. He wrote a lot of words. Srimad was invited to many places because of his intellect. But one time when he came home, he heard his maternal uncles plotting to kill the Archibald. Since he was so smart, he went to the Archibald's house and asked him if he knew his uncles. Archibald confirmed his suspicions and said they argued over political matters. Srimad proceeded to water the likely of his weakness. After this, Srimad went to return to Rashna. But even though he showed the money for the ticket home, Srimad did not ask Archibald for anything, even though he yelled about it. This is because the principal made him not do it. Since he was ahead in his time, many learned people came to ask him about their queries. Srimad answered all of them. After this, Srimad sent a letter to the Archibald in a goat and asked him, and since he was so ahead of his time, once again, Archibald decided to invite Srimad to his house. When Srimad came to his house, Archibald bowed down to Srimad because it's so wise. Srimad laid out a series of texts of religions. Of all these religions, the one that caught Srimad's eye was Jainism. When Srimad was 16 years old, he wrote Mokshanala, a text about Jainism. Srimad had only written this in 3 days. Before writing this, he studied major Jain scriptures for 15 months, so he could get ideas on Jainism. After this, he did a lot of things, including a reading 400 words in order to speak Latin, English, Sanskrit, Arabic, etc. Next, he became really skilled in reading astrology. He used to read people's minds and tell them about the future. One day, someone came to him and asked him about baby's health. Srimad established that the baby was not going to survive. After this day, Srimad vowed to never use astrology again. In 1887, when Srimad was 20 years old, he married Zava Bai Modi. She was the daughter of Sri Bai Mehta. After matrimony ended, the couple returned to London and went to Israel. After this, Srimad moved to Mumbai and was father-in-law. When Srimad was on a walk with his friend, they spent talking about Jainism and against each other, Shingali and thus when returning to the job, Srimad sold some pearls that were mortgaged. Srimad was sold some pearls that were mortgaged. He carried on not sent them to Rome. Srimad kept them, and then in the next day, the previous owner of the pearls came back to say that the buyer wanted his pearls back. In response, Srimad said that he had warned him of the situation only yesterday, but he still did it for that. Another time, a wealthy Arab businessman sold some pearls. The businessman wanted to impress his brother by getting a lot of money from his transaction. But when he showed his brother was only disappointed and said he should have gotten more money from the pearls he traded. When this is obviously not true because he said it because he thought it had a nice trade. When the businessman came back, Srimad gave him his money back, and the businessman gave him a higher card. Now he's seen a lot of good deeds and in his life. But if I go into everything he did, that would be your hours. In conclusion, we should all strive to be like him.
Now we have got one student, Parisha's daughter. She cannot make it. So she has sent us a video. So we have to see the video. So please. Hey, sorry. Auntie, no. Thank you. Thank you for everybody's patience.
Jai Janendra, today I'll be sharing the story of Srimad Rajchandraji. He was born in Vavania in Saurashtra, India as the last disciple of Mahavir Bhagwan on an auspicious
I know.
He was born on Sunday, 9th November 1867, and his parents were Devma, his mom, and Rajviv Bhai, his dad. He was originally named Lakshmi Nandan and later became known as
Somehow audio is not
Rajchandra,
coming.
and finally became known as Srimad
Audio is not coming.
Rajchandraji. Srimad started getting into
Okay.
We have a special message to Dr. Deepak Bhai Turukia, who is following Srimadji from last 30 years. And he knows all this Srimadji's writing, Prabhu is writing, Brahmachari is writing, our Agam.
સહજાત્મ સ્વરૂપ પરમ ગુરુ જય જિનેન્દ્ર. જૈન સેન્ટરના નાના નાના બાળકોએ આ અલૌકિક પુરુષ શ્રીમદ રાજચંદ્રની જીવનકાળાના પ્રસંગો વિશે ઘણું સાંભળ્યું, વાંચ્યું, પાકું કર્યું અને પોતે જે તૈયાર કર્યું તે બીજાઓને પણ કઈ જણાવવા નક્કી કર્યું તે પ્રશંસાને પાત્ર છે. તેઓને અને તેઓના માતા પિતાને હું હાર્દિક અભિનંદન પાઠવું છું. કોંગ્રેચ્યુલેશન્સ. આ દુષ્યમ કાળમાં આવા પરમાત્મા સ્વરૂપ પુરુષને આવું થયું તે ફક્ત આપણું કલ્યાણ કરવા માટે જ. આપણે અનંતકાળથી રસ્તો ભૂલેલ ને જન્મ મરણ કર્યા કરીએ છીએ અને રખડી રહ્યા છીએ. હવે આ દીવાદાંડી, આ રસ્તો બતાવનાર માર્ગનો ભોમિયો મળી ગયો. તેણે બતાવેલ રસ્તે ચાલીશું તો સીધા જ મંજિલે પહોંચી જશું. જે અનંતકાળમાં નથી બન્યું તે 5, 15, 25 વર્ષમાં બની જશે અને કાર્યસિદ્ધિ થઈ જશે. અત્યાર સુધી બધી જ પરીક્ષા એક્ઝામ્સમાં નપાસ ફેલ જ થતા હતા. હવે પાસ થવાનો અવસર આવ્યો. બસ વાત છે માન્યાની. શ્રદ્ધા કરવાની છે તો સફળ થયો ભવ મારો હો કૃપાળુ દેવ. તે તો ભગવાન મહાવીર પાસેથી આ સાચો રસ્તો શીખીને આવ્યા હતા. એ રસ્તો આપણને બતાવવા પૂરું ભવનું જ્ઞાન, તે જાતિ સ્મરણ જ્ઞાન તે અંગે જોઈએ. લેવો નથી પુનર્જન્મ એવી જે દ્રઢતા ધરે, રાજચંદ્ર ગુરુ એવા સેવવા મન આદરે. જાણ્યા પૂર્વ ભવો જેણે જાતિ સ્મરણ જ્ઞાનથી, તેની કૃપા વડે બોલું સંત દર્શિત સાનથી. જાતિ સ્મરણ જ્ઞાન પરમ કૃપાદેવને 7 વર્ષની ઉંમરે ઉત્કૃષ્ટ ત્યાગ અને વૈરાગને લઈને વવાણિયાના સ્મશાનમાં અહીંયા જ જાતિ સ્મરણ જ્ઞાન થયું. બધાને આલોચનાદિ પદ આપો. બ્રહ્મચારીજીએ આ જાતિ સ્મરણ જ્ઞાનની ઉત્પત્તિ વિશે રોચક, હૃદય સ્પર્શી એવું આખું કાવ્ય રચ્યું છે અહીંયા આવ્યા દર્શન કરવા ત્યારે. અને કયા સંજોગોમાં કેવા વિચાર સ્ફુરે તો જીવને જાતિ સ્મરણ જ્ઞાન થાય, અને કૃપાળુની દશા કેવી હશે કે આવું જ્ઞાન થયું. આપણે તો કેટલા મરણ જોયા છે, હજી જોઈએ છીએ આપણને. 233મું પાનું આલોચના આદિ પદ સંગ્રહ, જે મોટી બુક છે એમાં. અને કૃપાળુદેવે વચનામૃત 64માં સિદ્ધાંત મૂક્યો છે કે જ્યાં સુધી પૂર્વભવ છે, આવું પ્રત્યક્ષને તો બલિયારી છે પણ પરોક્ષે પણ ન મનાય, ત્યાં સુધી એને અખંડ આત્મજ્ઞાન હોય જ નહીં. એ સમકીતિ હોય જ નહીં ત્યાં સુધી. અને ખરેખર કર્મની નિર્જરા ત્યારે શરૂ થાય. આચરણ સૂત્રમાં એક પૂછ્યું છે ભગવાને કે જે જીવ ક્યાંથી આવ્યો છે, પોતે ક્યાં જવાનો છે, હું કોણ છું, ક્યાંથી થયો, શું સ્વરૂપ છે મારું ખરું, કોના સંબંધે વળગણા છે, રાખવું કે પરવરું. આ 6 પ્રશ્નમાંથી એક પણ પ્રશ્નનો જવાબ હજી આપણને મળ્યો નથી. એ ક્યારે મળે? જ્યારે જાતિ સ્મરણ જ્ઞાન હોઈ શકે, પુનર્જન્મ હોઈ શકે, પ્રત્યક્ષની તો બલિયારી, પરોક્ષે પણ કે કહેનાર પુરુષ સાચા છે, એણે કહ્યું કે મેં પૂર્વભવ જોયા છે, આ સાચી વાત છે, અન્નનો રણકાર થાય પછી અધ્યાત્મ શરૂ થાય. ત્યાં સુધી આપણે તૈયારી તો કરવાની જ છે, વિષય કશાયને કાબૂમાં લેવાના જ છે. એટલે બ્રહ્મચારી પણ સમજાવે છે. રાગે સહેલો છે સાવ, એક એક કડી લેતા જઈએ. મહાવીર મંગલ ચરણ રાજ પ્રભુએ દીઠ રાજચંદ્ર પ્રત્યક્ષની પ્રતિતિ મુનિએ કીધ. ભગવાન મહાવીરનું મંગલ ચરણ રાજપ્રભુએ જોયેલું, સાથે જ હતા. છેલ્લો શિષ્ય હતો વીર પ્રભુનો, સુખદ સ્મૃતિ છે તેની, દેવાનંદન હો રાજચંદ્ર પ્રભુ પ્યારા. મોતીલાલ ભાવસરને કહે છે કે વર્તમાનમાં જ્ઞાની હોત તો કેડ ન છોડત તેની. છેલ્લો શિષ્ય હતો વીર પ્રભુનો, સુખદ સ્મૃતિ છે તેની, દેવાનંદન હો રાજચંદ્ર પ્રભુ પ્યારા. કે અત્યારે મહાવીર સ્વામી કે એવું કોઈક બીજા હોત તો એની કેડ છોડત નહીં, કોઈ નથી. એટલે અમારે આ કાટાળો માર્ગ સાફ કરવો પડ્યો, નહીં તો આ ન કરો તમે. પણ નજરે જોતા આ લખનાર પ્રત્યે દ્રષ્ટિ જાય છે, બીજો કોઈ નજરે દેખાતો નથી. બીજાનું પ્રયત્ન કામ આવે એવું નથી. કે જે મહાવીર મંગલચરણ રાજપ્રભુએ જોયું, રાજચંદ્ર પ્રત્યક્ષની પ્રતિતિ મુનિએ કીધ. કોણ મુનિ? લઘુરાજ સ્વામી. એ તો પ્રત્યક્ષ મળ્યા કુપાઉદેવને, એને પ્રતિતિ થઈ કે કેનાર પુરુષ સાચા છે. નહીં તો પ્રથમ મિલનમાં 3 નમસ્કાર કેમ થાય? જૈન સાધુ સર્વસંગ પરિત્યાગી, 14 વર્ષ મોટા, કેવળ જ્ઞાન રવિતણી સામગ્રી ગ્રહી થાય, રવિવાર અવતાર દિન સ્વયં બુદ્ધ અવતાર. કુપાઉદેવનો ગુરુ કોણ થાય? એ એમ કે છે કે પૂર્ણ વિતરાગ જેવો બોધ અમને સહેજે સ્મરણમાં આવે છે. હવે એનો આખો પ્રસંગ આવે છે. કુપાઉદેવને શું નિમિત્ત બને છે જાતિ સ્મરણ જ્ઞાનનું, કે જન્મ શું, મરણ શું. આવા સારા માણસોને પણ લોકો ઉપાડી લઈ જઈને બાળ નાખતા હોય. આવા સ્નેહાળ સારા માણસને. 10મી કડી. 7 વર્ષના રાજ ત્યાં ગયા પિતામહ પાસ, અમી ચંદ ગુજરી ગયા પૂછું ધરી વિશ્વાસ. 7 વર્ષની વય વિશે પ્રિયજન મરણ વિચાર, પ્રેરે પ્રશ્ન અપૂર્વ શું જન્મ મરણ સંસાર. જો થોડા વખત રહીને આવી રીતે ઘાસના પોળાની જેમ ચિતા જ મૂકવાની હતી, બાળી નાખવાના હતા, તો જન્મ શા માટે? જન્મ શું, મરણ શું? તો પછી તો આ સંસારનું કોઈ પ્રયોજન જ નહીં, પ્રયોજન જ નથી. અનંતકાળથી આથડ્યો વિના ભાન ભગવાન રખડે છે ફૂટબોલના બોલની જેમ 14 રાજલોકમાં. 7 વર્ષની વય વિશે પ્રિયજન મરણ વિચાર, પ્રેરે પ્રશ્ન અપૂર્વ. પહેલા આ પ્રશ્ન ઉગ્યો નથી ક્યારેય. આ પ્રશ્ન ઉગ્યો હોય જેને, કે જન્મ શું ને મરણ શું, એના જન્મ મરણ વયા જાય. પછી આપણને આ પ્રશ્ન ઉગ્યો નથી ક્યારેય કે મરણ શું, મરવું એટલે શું. તો એ મરતા શીખી જાય ને. પછી મરણ પહેલાં મરતા શીખી જાય તો આ જન્મ મરણ વયા જાય. પછી પહેરે પ્રશ્ન અપૂર્વ શું જન્મ મરણ સંસાર. જન્મવાનું, મરી જવાનું, વચલો ગાળો સંસાર. તો આનું પ્રયોજન શું છે? કે ખાધું પીધું ને તારા જ કર્યું, તો સંસારનું પ્રયોજન શું છે? બસ આજ ભેગું થવાનું, છૂટી જવાનું, રાજી થવાનું, પછી રોવાનું. તો નાટક જ થયું ને ખાલી. તો નાટક જ છે, તો સંસાર નાટક જ છે આખું. છે શું આ? પ્રેરે પ્રશ્ન અપૂર્વ. પહેલા આ પ્રશ્ન ઉગ્યો નહોતો ક્યારેય, અનાદિકાલથી આજ સુધીમાં. આ કાળે ઉગ્યો કુપાઉદેવને. અપૂર્વ જન્મ શું છે, મરણ શું છે, અને સંસાર શું છે. ચિત્તા બળતી દેખીને જાગ્યા કો સંસ્કાર, ચિત્તાકાળની ચિંતના ચેતવણી દેનાર, એને ચેતવણી આપે છે. શું થાય છે હવે? 24મી કડી. ધારા એ વૈરાગ્યની કરે કર્મ પટ દૂર, પ્રગટ્યું જાતિ સ્મરણ ત્યાં વધ્યું જ્ઞાન જળપૂર. પછી તો 12મે વર્ષે પુષ્પમાળા, તેને 108 બોલ લખ્યા, જેમાંનો કોઈ એક પણ બોલ આત્મસાત થાય તો મંગલદાયક નીવડે. 16મે વર્ષે 3 દિવસમાં મોક્ષમાળા ગ્રંથ, આખા જૈન ધર્મનો સાર, આગમોનો નિચોડ લખી નાખ્યો. અવધાન તો 10મે વર્ષે શરૂ થયા, તે શતાવધાન એકી સાથે 100 અવધાન કર્યા. અને 19મું વર્ષ પૂરું થવામાં તો તે અવધાન કરવા છોડી દીધા. આ વિતરાગતા. એક જ દિવસમાં વચન સપ્તશતી 700 મહાનીતિના વાક્યો લખ્યા, જે બધાને માટે મોક્ષ માર્ગી થવામાં એ નિયમો કામ આવે. 14 પૂર્વનો સાર, આખો ગણધરવાદ, આત્મપ્રવાદ, 26 કરોડ શ્લોક પ્રમાણ, તેનો સાર એકી બેઠકે માત્ર 1.5 કલાકમાં 142 ગાથામાં લખી વાળ્યો અને આત્મસિદ્ધિ શાસ્ત્ર રચ્યું. પરમ કૃપાલદેવને યથાર્થ ઓળખી જનાર પૂજ્ય શ્રી અંબાલાલભાઈએ જગતને શ્રીમદ રાજચંદ્ર વચનામૃત ગ્રંથ, જેમાં હજાર હજાર જેટલા પત્રો, તે જગતને તેની અણમોલ ભેટ આપી. શ્રી લઘુરાજ સ્વામી પરમ પૂજ્ય પ્રભુશ્રીજીએ એ રાજવચનની છૂટવાના ઈચ્છુકને વહેંચણી કરી, લાણી કરી. You all young children of that part of the world are indeed gifted, as you all have with you the preaching of Srimad Rajchandra, Param Krupaldev. Param Krupaldev himself says in Mokshmala that a person who realizes the mystery of innate traits of great saints becomes God himself. Secret of the art of spiritual life can easily be imbibed and attained if one understands Param Krupaldev's life. If one installs the golden sermon of Param Krupaldev in his heart, he achieved everything in life. You all should spare some time daily or at least on weekly basis and study Srimad Rajchandra Jivankala, Mokshmala and Bhavana both. Once grown up in age and also in spiritual life, we should try understanding Atmasiddhi Shastra as well. This all will definitely pile up in due course of time and inspire, enlighten English knowing aspirant of that part of the world. Sahajatma Swarup Param Guru.